Hi, and welcome to More Human, More Resources, the HR podcast for entrepreneurs. I'm Vicki Brown, your host and CEO of Vidamaneo Enterprises. As a serial entrepreneur, I understand that having the right expert help has been critical to my success. That's why I'm dedicated to telling you, in plain language, what's going on in the world of HR that might impact your business and what you need to do about it, with real actionable tips to help you master that list of must-dos and grow your leadership muscle. First things first, the information contained in this podcast is provided for general purposes only and is not to be considered legal advice. Your decision to adopt or not adopt any practice or procedure mentioned in this podcast is solely yours, and we bear no responsibility for the outcome. We urge you to always consult legal counsel and other appropriate licensed professionals. And with that, let's get into the show. You're listening to Season 5, Episode 16. You know, growth plans aren't just for those big corporations with fancy HR departments and big budgets. They're actually perfect for small businesses and first-time leaders. In fact, I'd argue they're even more vital in a small team environment. Why? Because when you're running a small business, every single person matters more. Each team member carries more weight, wears more hats, and has a bigger impact on your success. But here's what often happens. You get so caught up in the day-to-day operations that employee development, it becomes an afterthought. So let's change that. Because when you invest in your employees' growth, you're actually investing in your business. People who feel they're developing stay longer, work harder, and bring more value. And for you as the business owner, growth plans create structure and they help you delegate more effectively. So, what exactly is a growth plan? Well, simply put, it's a personalized roadmap for an employee's development. It outlines where they are now, where they want to go, and the skills and experiences they need to get there. Now, the beauty of a good growth plan is that it aligns with your employees' aspirations and with your business needs, so everyone wins. Now, let's talk about how to actually create these plans, step by step. First, start with the role itself. What's the purpose of this position in your business? What are the key responsibilities? What does success actually look like in this role over the next 6 to 12 months? Getting crystal clear about expectations is going to be the foundation of any good growth plan, and it makes sure you and your employee are on the same page from day one. Next up, assess their current skills. Now, this doesn't need to be complicated. Simply schedule a check-in conversation to discuss what they do well and where they could be stronger. You can use both their self-evaluation and your observations. And here's a pro tip. Don't overcomplicate this. Start with identifying just 3 strengths and 3 growth areas. That's more than enough to work with. The third step is to talk about their career goals. Ask open-ended questions about their interests. Do they want to move into leadership? Become a specialist in a particular area? Learn new tools or technologies? Even if they're not 100% sure yet, just having the conversation builds trust and shows that you care about their future. Now, with that foundation in place, you can set SMART goals together. That means specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. For example, instead of get better at Excel, a SMART goal would be complete the beginner Excel course by May 15th and apply new skills to the monthly reporting process. Now, keep the goals small and achievable, especially in a small business environment where you might have limited resources. It's much better to accomplish 3 modest goals than to set 10 ambitious ones that never happen. Now, once you have the goals defined, then create a timeline. What needs to happen this quarter? What about this year? Add specific milestones and check-ins, monthly or quarterly. That works well for most small businesses. It creates accountability and momentum. And you can even bake this into the performance review process. But just remember, performance goals are designed to make sure they're performing in their current job, and growth goals are designed to make sure they progress in their career. So be thoughtful when you evaluate each one. Now, let's talk about support and resources. As a small business owner, you might be thinking, I don't have a big training budget. well, that's okay. There are plenty of free or low-cost options out there. YouTube tutorials, LinkedIn Learning, professional books, industry webinars. Sometimes the best development happens through experiences rather than formal training, like shadowing you on client calls or taking the lead on a new project. A vital step that so many managers miss is tying growth to the business. You have to show your employees how their development is going to directly contribute to the company's success. For example, if you master these design skills, we can bring that work in-house instead of outsourcing it, which means faster turnaround times for our clients and higher profit margins for us. Now, this type of connection creates purpose and motivation. And finally, document everything. Keep a simple growth plan document. Google Docs or Sheets works perfectly fine. Share it with the employee and revisit it regularly in your one-on-ones. This isn't a set it and forget it process. Now, let me highlight some common mistakes I see entrepreneurs make with growth plans. The biggest one is creating plans without the employee's input. This isn't something you do to them. It's something you do with them. Their buy-in and ownership is essential. Another mistake is making it too complicated or overwhelming. Start simple. A one-page plan with a few clear goals is so much better than an elaborate system that no one actually uses. And perhaps the most common mistake? Ignoring the plan after that initial meeting. Growth is an ongoing process, and it requires regular attention and adjustment. So, here are your key takeaways. Growth plans make your business more resilient by developing a more skilled, engaged team. You don't need a huge budget or fancy HR department to support meaningful growth. And remember, when your team grows, your company grows. The small investment of time and attention that you put into growth plans today, well, that's going to pay dividends for years to come in retention, engagement, and capability. It's one of the highest leverage activities that you can engage in as a business owner. If you found this information helpful, please leave a review and tell a friend. Thanks for spending the time. Until next week, same time, same place.